All right, what's up everyone? So we are back for another video. It's been a minute since I've been on the camera like talking and speaking. So I'm back and today is maintenance day for this thing. So new Accord, got it back in March and I've already put almost 7,000 miles on it. So this thing takes 020 full synthetic, so they recommend running it a little bit longer. I ran it almost to the 7,000. I'm at like 6,800. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the oil change on it myself for the first time, and then after that I'm gonna take it to the dealership so I can have on record oil change and do all the maintenance stuff through them so I can keep the warranty. So as you can tell, I got all my stuff. I got my jack stand, chalk off the wheel. Don't know what sockets to take off the tray on the bottom. Ratchet and socket, oil filter claw to take off the oil filter. I got my Mobil 1 full synthetic 020 right here, and I got a factory Honda oil filter in my drain pan. So got the hood open. Gotta take off the oil cap, you know, gotta let the engine breathe so I can drain all the oil properly. So right here on your oil cap it says, you know, 020. And then you can also look up in your owner's manual and it'll tell you what oil your car should take and how much. You also, I always pull the dipstick just so you know it's out. Let's see, it's really hot outside. I'm sweating. This one's got an electronic parking brake on it, so the e-brake's already on. But I'm gonna still chalk off the back wheel with that rubber chalk, and I'll jack it up here in a second. So let me jack it up for y'all, and I will show y'all where to jack it up. As you can tell, I got the car jacked up, got the jack stand up on there. On the pinch wheel, as you can tell right here from this clip. And I actually made a mistake. It doesn't have anything that goes up under there for screws. It's actually just a screwdriver, like a flathead bit. That's all you need, and you just spin them. I'll show you here real quick. Let me get up under here. So it's just these are just retainer clips. You just gotta go through, if I can get on there, and just spin it, and it pops out. That easy. So I gotta take all these out. Once I get the shield off, I'll show y'all how to drain this thing, or where to drain this thing from. So I'll be back here in a second. All right, y'all, so this is the fun part, being up under the car, in your driveway, doing an oil change the old-fashioned way yourself. So I broke that loose. That's the drain plug for the oil pan. So I got my drain pan right here. I'm gonna catch all the dirty oil. I don't even think it's gonna be that dirty. We're gonna find out here real quick. And I want to see if I can't get no oil on my hands, like no oil on my fingers. So I did work at a dealership for like 5 years, so I got kind of good at this. Golly, it's a long drain plug. All ready? Ready? Oh. 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 What's that for? That's a mount. Where's the... Oh. Oops. We're keeping that in there. Oh my gosh. I feel so dumb. Yeah, so that wasn't the drain plug. That was a bolt for a mount. The drain plug's right next to it. It's so deceiving. No wonder it was so tight. I was wondering, I was like, God, all these things like... I gotta make sure that's tight again. I think I am gonna have to take off the splash pan. Drats. Alright. I'll be back once I take the splash pan off. So, ooh, dying under here. So I got my splash or my belly pan off. That was that big metal or aluminum shield that's there. And I should have taken that off to begin with, because look, it says it right here, right where my fingers are, it says engine oil. I was taking that one off. So I'm gonna just break this loose. It's a 17 millimeter. Use a longer ratchet if you can. It gives you a little bit better leverage to break things loose. So we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna try not to get no oil on me. And be careful, because if your car, if you just ran it off the highway or off the road, and you're just driving, this would be very hot. This is your exhaust right here for people that don't know. It gets very, very, very hot. I've been burned by it before. I have the scar on my arm to prove it. It is not a fun time touching this. Right now I'm touching it because the car's just been sitting here at the house all day and it hasn't been driven, so it's cold. Well, it's not cold. I just drove it from like over there to right here, which is like 10 feet. So I started it up for maybe a minute or two and then I let it sit. So let's see if I can't do this without making a mess, without getting my hand all dirty. So right here at the end, just let it go. So now I just gotta let it drain. So I'll get back with y'all here in a second once it's done draining. So it is leaking.
I know, but it looks like it's going off the corner of the pan.
I'm at kind of an angle here.
Yeah, there you go.
This is getting heavy. This is not ideal to do because I'm not on flat ground. So it's just about done draining, but I wanted to show y'all this. So this is my drain plug and it has a washer on it. So every time you do your oil change, you want to replace this washer for the fact that it's just peace of mind. Because I mean, I'm sure you probably could run it twice, maybe 3 times per oil change, whatever. But just peace of mind, you want to replace it every time so that you don't have to worry about it leaking. So I got a factory Honda filter from Honda. See, right there. And it comes with its own crush washer, or its own drain plug washer. So old one right here, new one in my hand. So you're gonna put that on right there, and I got my old filter. So I'm gonna go back up under here real quick and put this in, and then I'll show y'all how to get this old filter off. Ooh. Ooh. So you see it's still slightly dripping, but it's pretty much done. So you can go ahead and just cap it, if I can get it. There we go. So you hold that for me. You'll take a rag and wipe that off. Away. You're gonna grab your ratchet and you're gonna tighten this thing back up. Now this doesn't have to be cranked down super hard, just nice and snug, and that's really what you need. And that's about it. That's all you need. It doesn't have to be Hercules down or whatever. Nice and snug, wipe it off, and that's all. So you got your oil filter right here. Can you see that right there? So yep, oil filter right above you. It's blue, you know. So I got this little claw. It's called an oil filter claw. You can find it at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, all different types of places sell it. The auto parts store. So what you want to do with this is set that over the oil filter in the off position. You see that right there on my ratchet, off position, and it'll bite down onto the oil filter enough for you to just spin it loose, just like that. Loose enough for you to be able to spin it by hand. It's only to be used to take off an oil filter and not to put on. Oil filters do not need to be put on super hard. So you're gonna get some oil draining from your oil filter too. So let that drain out for a second. And then once it's done draining out, then you can take it all the way off. All right, so you see it's about done dripping. So once it's done dripping, you just spin it all the way off, real slowly because it's gonna fall off in your hand. Just like that. You're gonna get a little bit extra oil coming out of it. Just set that down in your pan. Let this drain all the way until it stops dripping. And where's my new filter? So new filter in my hand, old filter in the pan. The oil that's splashed into the drain pan, you know, that's enough to put. You want to put a little bit of oil on your O-ring to lubricate it. You don't ever want to put a oil filter on dry. So I got that ready for me right there. I'm gonna wait for it to stop dripping, then I'm gonna wipe it off a little bit. It's going dripping right there. So real nice and simple. You get a little bit of oil on there. Simply just spin it on. You want to get it nice and snug like that. Once you get snug, little extra turn, and that's it. That's all you need for an oil filter. Like I said, with the drain plug, it doesn't need to be Hercules on. Real simple. Wipe everything off. People, if you want to, you can write on here, mark it when the last time it was changed. But since I'm gonna take it to the dealership next time, it doesn't really matter for me. They can tell whether it was the factory install, because the factory install, we normally see factory installed on it. So call it good like that. So I'm gonna get the splash guards, these body shields or belly shields back on real quick, and I will show y'all once I get back on top of the engine. All right, y'all, so I'm out from under the car, as you can tell, fixing to let this thing down, take the Jackson out from under it, drained it, oil filter, washer right there by my foot. So now I'm fixing to get to the good part and putting the oil in. So hold that for a second real quick, just so y'all know. So I got my Jackson up under this, so I want to take the weight off the Jackson real quick. Put that down, take that out, and then I'm gonna just slowly let my car down. If I can. Oh, there we go. That's old trusty right there. We've had that thing for a long time. All right, so easy part now. So you can look it up online. You can look it up in your owner's manual on what type of oil your car needs and what it takes. I just looked it up online real quick, just typed in my car. So just if I didn't mention this before, it's a 21 Accord Sport 2.0 Turbo Sport. Takes 020, like I showed y'all on the cap, says it on the cap. And then clean out my drain or my funnel. So you can look it up online, look it up in your owner's manual, just all different kinds of places where you can find it. So I looked up, and this thing takes 5.1 quarts of oil. So I know for a fact I didn't drain out exactly 5.1. So it got me a 5-quart jug. It says it right there on the bottom, 5 quarts. So I'm gonna pour this entire thing in there. If I can get it open. Come on now, there we go. So I'm not doing the whole no funnel gang. I'm not splashing oil on my brand new car. Just not gonna do it. So real quick, just, you know, let it drink. You wanna pour it slowly. You don't overfill it at the top up here. Let it go down nice and easy. You hear it draining down into the engine. Oh. Alright, y'all, so once again, look, y'all see OW20, that's what I put in it. I put 5 quarts. It calls for 5.1. So you don't want to forget your oil cap. You always want to put that back on, tighten it. I pulled that. So I'm gonna start the car real quick, let it cycle for about, or let it run for about 30 seconds real quick. Let the oil, so the reason I'm starting it up for about 30 seconds roughly is so that I can get the oil flowing through the oil filter, since I just took the oil filter off and put new oil in it. So real quick, oh, it's a mess in here. Roughly about 20 to 30 seconds left on it. So while I'm in here, I actually can go onto the home, and on my menu here and go to maintenance, and I can actually reset my oil life. So since now that I did the oil change, this is A1, says it right there, A1 maintenance, and just reset item A only. So reset complete, oil life back to 100%. So that's how y'all do the reset, maintenance reset on your 21 Accord Sport. So that should be enough time. It's idled down a little bit now. So let me show y'all after you do that. You always after you do that, let it sit for a few seconds. You can go ahead and pull out your dipstick, clean off your dipstick, because you're gonna have all the old residual oil on there. So you want your oil, see it's the same on both sides, doesn't matter. You want your oil in between these two dots right here. So you want to be on level ground. This is semi-level ground for me. I mean, I'm confident with how much oil I put in there. Should be enough. You want to put that right back down in there. Make sure it's all the way down. Wait like 2 or 3 seconds. Pull it back up. And you want to check it. So this is really clean oil, but you can see it goes all the way up to about where my nail is at right there. So I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I can definitely see, oh, well, right here on the back, right there. So that's more than enough oil on your dipstick. So that pretty much wraps it up for me. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. While you're under here, I mean, always good practice to check your washer fluid, make sure that's full. Check your air filter if you haven't changed that out. My brake fluid right here, master cylinder, a little dirty. Wipe that off while I'm here. Make sure that's nice and snug. That's really all the fluids I can check up here. Nothing else I can really check. Just good practice, you know. Other than that, that's about it. I mean, hope this video helped. If it did, drop a comment down below. Subscribe. More videos coming soon. I should be doing a few more things to this thing here soon. I really want to start working on that. So hopefully soon as well. I know soon, but you know, time. I gotta figure my schedule out. So yeah, that's it for me. So oil change on the 21 Accord right there.